how this is going to work for predictions. Carter has 20. I have 20. We have not connected on these. Maybe some of our predictions will be the same. In fact, I'd like to propose this, Carter. If either of us have the same prediction, we have to immediately go take a shot together on camera because my predictions are pretty out there.
I have to go to work.
So do I.
Okay. All right. Bet.
If either of us predicts the exact same thing, word for word, we have to take a shot together. If that happens 7 times, we have to take 7 shots together. But that's not going to happen because, like I said, mine are really out there. We're going to unveil this. We got to keep this moving. It's like a minute per prediction. But
Okay.
I want every time I give one of my predictions, I want you to grade it on a scale of 1 to 10, how hard it is. And then if it happens at the end of the year, we'll tally, we'll get 10 points for that prediction. So if you have your list, make sure you add the points of how difficult I say the prediction is. We'll talk about it for like 30 seconds, and then we'll move to the next one. And then at the end of the year, we'll see who could potentially win the most points. And you get the points if your prediction comes true. You get nothing if the prediction does not. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yep.
Okay. You want to go first? Why don't you go first and do all 20 of yours?
All 20?
Yeah, all 20 of yours.
Okay.
Just give it like give me one, give me the prediction, then I'll grade it 1 to 10, 1 being not difficult, 10 being really difficult. And if it happens, you get the points, and then we'll talk for like 30 seconds on like explain why you think it's going to happen, then I'll rebuttal.
Got you. Next week, I promise to not repeat after you when I clearly hear you the first time. I've been doing that a lot this week. I got to work on that. Okay. Get us going. You know, I mean, you kind of know, but it's Michigan State wins the regular season Big Ten title. I think that they do. I don't think Purdue is going to put as much stock into the regular season, as weird as that sounds. Like they're an NBA team. They're just kind of chilling till the tournament. I just don't think they're going to go all in on winning the Big Ten regular season. I think it means a little bit more to Michigan State this year after what Purdue did last year.
That's a 6 on the difficulty scale. I respect the prediction.
6.
It's not completely out of the question. I don't hate it, but yeah, Purdue should be a clear favorite. So I'll give you a 6 points on the difficulty scale. Good prediction. Way to start us off.
Okay, number 2. Terrence Shannon Jr. is a first-team All-American.
Ooh. I'm going to give you some credit. I'm going to try to be generous with the points on this. That's a 9-point prediction. Explain why you think that's going to happen.
Because, you know, I'm looking at like the predicted first team All-Americans. You have like the Klingons on there. You have Hunter, Edey. I just think I think Edey's the only sure thing on that list. Like, I think that there could be some change on that team. And also, as far as like the guard wing, it seems to be lacking a little bit. Like Tyler Kolek is the first team All-American. I just think that Terrence Shannon Jr. can have good enough of a season stats wise. It's what the team necessarily does. But let's say they find their way somehow into like the top 4. And it's not even somehow. I think they can. Top 4 in the Big Ten, really good regular season. And Terrence Shannon Jr. is averaging like 20 a game. I think that he could find his way on the first team All-American.
I buy it. I think there's like a 10% chance it happens, which makes it a 9 on the difficulty scale. So again, great prediction. I'm loving your energy. You acted like these weren't that crazy. And I like where you're at because mine are pretty crazy. So number 3.
Don't speak too soon. North Carolina wins the ACC.
Oh, we are so divided on North Carolina. Spoiler alert. I don't know. Their only big threat's Duke, right? I'll give you a 7. I'll give you a 7 on the difficulty scale. I mostly because I don't think Carolina's good. So that would surprise me.
Okay. I do think they're good.
Okay.
4. Creighton wins the Big East and Kalk is Big East Player of the Year.
Okay, so that means he's beating out Kolek. That means he's beating out Klingon. That is a contentious award. So regular season and Player of the Year?
Yes, Creighton wins the regular season Big East, and Kalk is Big East Player of the Year. I guess this is 2 predictions in one, but I want them to go hand in hand.
Because it's a parlay prediction, that makes it more difficult. I'll give you 8 points on that. It's an 8-point prediction. Okay. But I think it could very easily happen. I'm very high on Creighton.
Yeah, I really like Creighton's chance too. And I think if Creighton wins the Big East and Kalk is the best player, Big East Player of the Year, I think they go hand in hand. I like it. If I can get past the first step, I feel great about Kalk winning Big East Player of the Year. 5. Kentucky will go further in the NCAA tournament than the Tennessee Volunteers.
Okay. I think this might surprise some people. I don't think that's a crazy prediction at all because it's Rick Barnes, man. If you had said like regular season stuff, fine. But if both these teams are like 3 seeds, it's Rick Barnes and John Calipari. What are we doing? So that's a 3-point prediction card. I'm sorry.
Damn.
That's
Okay.
a
That's
3-point
fine.
prediction.
That's fine. A lot of people are high on the Volunteers, like to be the team out of the SEC that makes the run. But we know how that is.
RIP Big Z,
Um,
by the way. It sounds like Big Z is not going to play for Kentucky. I'm very sad about it.
Man, that is very
Are
sad.
you
They got to make
five?
it happen.
Have you done 5 predictions right now? You got 15
Yeah,
left.
I'm on 6.
Okay, I mean 33 points for 5 is pretty damn good. I like that.
Okay. New Mexico wins the Mountain West.
Ooh, we were dangerously close to our first shot right there.
Ooh.
But it's not our first shot. I like that prediction a lot. However, there's some really good teams in the Mountain West, so I think this is a pretty difficult prediction. I'm going to give you 8 points for that prediction.
Okay. I just realized too. Am I giving you points for your prediction?
You are.
Oh, that's gonna be fun in itself, my
Yeah,
brother. Because you know
this
how I
game could
operate.
fall apart. It could really fall.
It
You might
could.
give me
It
like
could.
2 points for every prediction.
It could really fall apart. 7. No ACC teams make the Final Four.
It's really just Duke, though, right? I mean, I guess
I mean,
Duke and Carolina. Is there a
you're
third threat?
you're high on Miami.
Okay, yeah, Miami could be 3. There's nobody outside of those 3, though, right? I'm not missing somebody.
No, I think that covers like because you don't think Clemson or anyone's gonna do it.
No, to me, that's really just a Duke bet because I'm very low on North Carolina and God bless Miami, but I don't think it's going to happen again. And I don't think like is Duke. What would we say? Like Duke's like a 25% chance to make the Final Four, even if they're really good. Like it's not a guarantee you make the Final Four. I'll give you 4 points, but I think I'm being kind of generous with that. I don't
You
think that's a
you are
crazy
being kind of
prediction.
generous. I'll give you a chance to change that if you'd
No,
like.
I'll give you 4 points. I want to be generous, and we'll see what you do when it's my turn.
Okay, I'll keep that in the back of the head. 8. Nigel Pack wins ACC Player of the Year.
Now we're talking. Yeah, I mean, Flip's the big favorite, right? Or one of the Duke guys. If not, you got Baycott. If not, you got RJ Davis. That would be tough. I'll give that 9 points again. I haven't heard anything that totally blows my mind as far as your predictions here, but that's pretty unlikely that Nigel Pack wins. So you must
Okay,
think
all right.
Miami's pretty good then.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
One of my takes was going to be that Duke's not a top 2 team in the ACC, but I did not put that.
That would have been spicy. I would have given you 10 points for that.
Yeah, okay. 9. Elliot Cadeau will be the National Freshman of the Year.
It's a 10. It's a 10-point prediction. So I'm getting ahead of myself on one of my wildest predictions here, but do you know that Elliot Cadeau is not supposed to start game 1?
Fine.
Okay. Did you know that though?
Yeah, I figured that. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't figure that. I texted Riley for our fantasy drafts purposes, like, hey, is Elliot Cadeau like a dude? Like he's gonna be like a 30-minute a game guy? And he was like, no, we're starting Paxton Wojcik over him. Like, I'm sorry, I'm real out on North Carolina if that's the current situation right now. Everybody told me this kid was generational, and we're starting Paxton Wojcik over him night 1. Like, come on,
it happens.
Okay, that's a 10-point prediction, my friend.
10. Brock Harding wins Big Ten Freshman of the Year.
That's a 10-point prediction too. Wow.
Okay.
Brock, man.
11.
Talk me into Brock. You got to like give some justification of your predictions. We're not just doing it for the points.
Oh, my fault here. I have zero faith in Sanford and or Perkins to be like the main guy for Iowa. I think they are good in their roles, but I think that if McCaffrey, like I mentioned earlier in the episode, Pat McCaffrey's not the guy. Like Brock Harding's a guy who's got some shit to him. He can put up a lot of points. I think that on this Iowa team, if he can get his numbers high enough, like you got to think of other freshmen in the Big Ten. Like Deshaun Harris-Smith might not have the numbers because of who he's playing with. Kaiser might not have the numbers because of who he's playing with. I mean, they're going to have good numbers, but let's say like Deshaun Harris-Smith is averaging like 13 and Brock Harding's like up there at like 17.
We think there's a world where Brock Harding scores 17 points this year.
I could see 15. Okay, 17 might be a lot. I can see
I
15.
I like everything you've shown me on Brock Harding. But wow, I like at minimum, Mbako's going to have a big role. Mbako Bell.
And Baco Bell slaps, by the way. Is that
Mbako
the first
Bell.
time you said that?
Yeah,
Okay.
11th prediction. You have 74 points halfway through this exercise.
All right. Cohen Carr ends up averaging more minutes than Malik Hall this season.
Talk me through it before I give points on this one.
So this is, I think that Cohen Carr is throughout the season, early on, is going to show that he can bring the same things that Malik Hall can bring if Malik Hall is not shooting it well. But you have someone who is more athletic and just a different type of archetype than Malik Hall is. And I made this prediction too, just based off both stay healthy throughout the whole season too. I think both healthy, Cohen Carr ends up averaging more minutes than Malik Hall.
Okay. See, in my head, if I'm the coach, that's not a crazy prediction at all. But I got to factor in that Tom Izzo's the coach of this team, and I think it would be insane if that happens. We're doing minutes per game and not total minutes on the season?
Averaging more minutes per game.
Okay, then I'm going to give you 7 because I think it's unlikely. If it was total minutes, I would drop that down a little bit because I think there's a chance Malik Hall might miss some games based on how banged up he looks in general right now. And Cohen Carr
Right.
I feel like he could get hit by a truck and he would be ready to start 10 minutes later. The man's a monster.
Right.
Also, that was
true.
a pity laugh. You didn't need to give me a pity laugh on that. It's okay, but I appreciate it.
That was not a pity laugh.
I appreciate it. Number 12.
Jesus, man. Villanova finishes outside the top 4 of the Big East.
Yeah, you and I are on the same page on this one. I'm trying to think through. The 4 teams would be like Marquette, Creighton, UConn, and then who? You got a team you like at 4 over Nova?
Providence.
Okay. There's kind of big middle of the pack in the Big East. I don't think that's that crazy. I'm only going to give you 4 points for that one.
Okay. Let's see here.
I'm really surprised we haven't had one the same yet. It's surprising to me.
Hunter Dickinson misses a half of a basketball game due to contract detrimental to the team.
Okay, what happens if he misses more than a half? Do you get that prediction?
Halves. I said half's the minimum. So like he's suspended for a half of a game or a game for contract detrimental to the team.
Okay. Does this also hit if he's not formally suspended, but they just don't know where he is? Like if it becomes a storyline that Hunter's just like not with the team and nobody knows what's going on, it hits. So basically,
no. It has to come out that Hunter did not live up to the standards that are expected of a Kansas basketball player.
Like there's a Bill Self statement.
Yes.
Hunter Dickinson. Okay, that's a 9. That's not a 10. It's oddly specific, but I think there's a world where that happens. I'll give you 9 points for that.
Okay. Xavier misses the tournament.
Oh my God, I'm so close on this one. I had that written literally, and then I didn't think it was spicy enough, so I tweaked it. But man, I wish we had that because we both would have taken a drink together. Because that's not as spicy as mine. I gotta give you 3 points on that. I don't think that's a
3.
crazy
one. Okay.
How many do you have left?
Coleman Hawkins. I have 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
I feel like it would be very you here to just like go into the 30s on predictions, and I'm having so much fun I wouldn't notice.
No, I did not know. Okay. Coleman Hawkins finishes above Cliff Amaruri on all Big Ten teams.
I could see that because I don't think Rutgers is going to be nearly as good as Illinois. So I don't think that's crazy at all. That's only 2 points.
This has possibility to be a shot, I think. Michigan finishes above Indiana in the Big Ten.
I have a different Michigan prediction. I love this prediction, and I think people would tell me I'm crazy for thinking that. So I'll give you 8 points. But I think that's going to happen. Okay. I endorse that prediction.
Okay. I believe that prediction too, by the way. I feel good about getting that 8
How
points.
many of these do you believe? Like the fact that you had to add the qualifier of I believe that, by the way. Do you not believe all of
Oh,
these?
honestly, I believe all these.
Okay, good.
I truly do. I
Good.
promise you I do.
Okay, good.
Kyle Neptune is let go after this season.
This is my favorite episode we've ever done. I think that's a 10-point prediction. I think that's a 10-point. I think they're going to be bad, and I think you and I are on the same page with that. But isn't he going to get a third year? Like, how bad would they have to be for him to be fired?
Miss the tournament again, maybe?
I don't think they'd fire him if he missed it. I think they'd give him year 3 at least.
Okay.
I think like we got to be like Louisville bad for him to be fired, or like something
I
bad.
mean, yeah, true. I guess. Yeah, true. But he has a lot of talent this year. Imagine if it goes bad.
Imagine. Not that hard
Imagine.
to
I see the
imagine.
world. Rodney Terry wins Big 12 Coach of the Year.
See, I'm a Rodney Terry guy, so I think other people would say that's very surprising. I just wouldn't. Like, if Texas is a top 10 team in the country, that's more impressive than Bill Self doing whatever Bill Self does with this team. I think Kelvin Sampson's going to have a hard time, but if Houston is good, he would have the narrative. I think Baylor's going to be bad, so Scott Drew's out. I don't like Kansas State's roster as much. Yeah, I don't think this is that crazy. I can only give you I'll give you 3 points to be nice. I'll give you 3 points.
Okay. 19. A player sits out a game or games due to unpaid NIL payments.
Ooh, this is my favorite one yet. I have no idea how likely that is. I have no idea. Can I phone a friend on this who might know a
Yes.
little more on this than I would?
Yes.
I'm gonna call Kevin Sweeney real quick. He's in my phone as Zags Sweeney though. Hold on.
That's when he listens to this, he's gonna be so upset.
Let's call Kevin Sweeney. Probably like at a frat playing beer pong. Oh, Sweeney?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, you're live on the Sleepers podcast right now. We're playing a little preseason prediction game. Carter Elliott has a prediction that I'm supposed to grade on a scale of 1 to 10 how likely it is that it will happen, and I just don't have a pulse on this, and I know that you would. So I'm going to let Carter take it from here, and then if you could just tell us on a scale of 1 to 10 how likely is this, that would be lovely. Here's Carter.
Sweeney, how you doing, my good brother? My prediction is a player will sit out a game or games due to unpaid NIL payments this season.
I think that's like a 9 on the likelihood scale that it happens, and probably like a 3 or a 4 that the player is publicly voices that the reason they're sitting out is because of NIL and not something else.
Ooh, see, this is why we had to call Sweeney. That's such good intel.
I'm so glad we did.
There was a situation, maybe 2 situations where this happened last year, and they were able to sweep it under the rug as something else. So
okay, so help us with this then, Sweeney. If we're doing this to like grade this at the end of the season, how can Carter and I accurately grade if this happens? Like, do we need you to tell us when you hear that this happens, and that's what decides it?
Personally, I would want public reporting. So whether it's me, Goodman, whatever, I don't think we want the behind the scenes feelings as deciding a wager.
I agree. Part of my prediction was I think it's going to be a public thing that they make it known they're sitting out because the checks didn't cash.
So wait, does that change your grade of how likely it is? If it has to be the player publicly declaring, I'm doing this because of NIL.
Player publicly declaring or a reputable reporter reporting it. That, to me, the likelihood of that was like a 3 or a 4.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you. This is exactly what we needed, Sweeney. I love you. I miss you. Come back on the show sometime in longer form, please. Have a great day, my friend.
See you later, guys.
Goodbye. That was great. That was great. Electric. So he said a 3 or a 4 on the likely scale, which means that's like a 6 or a 7. I'll give you a 7. I'll give you 7 points for that.
7.
That was a fun one.
I feel like I should have gotten more on that.
Well, Sweeney says it's already happening, though.
Okay. Yeah, true. It is. All right. Well, it kind of, there was rumors that happened last year with Isaiah Wong. Like he was upset that Nigel Pack was getting more money or something. I don't know. Those are rumors, I think, at the time, though. And then 20, my last one, somewhat of a personal one. Sleepers Media gets mentioned on a major network this season.
I'm going to give you 10 points because I want to motivate you. But I actually think it is likelier than we're making it seem.
And I'm talking like this is during ESPN, CBS, NBC, Peacock broadcast.
Yeah, I like that. I think it would be Big Ten though. Probably, right?
I don't want to speak.
Okay, all right. So if I tallied this correctly, you have 137 potential points based on your predictions. Do you feel good about that number?
I do.
Okay. Yeah, it's pretty good. I think that's an average of like, I'm not a math podcast. I think that's an average of like 7 points. 7 points per, a little under. That's pretty good.
It looks like that.
It's pretty good. Okay. You ready for my 20?
I am.
I lumped my 20 into 5 different categories, believe it or not. My five categories are teams I believe in, things I don't believe in, players I believe in, revenge, and Final Four.
I mean, of course it's categorized.
I really love the revenge category. All right, let's start with, I guess I'll do that in order. Like I said, I'm going to move things. I wanted to start with revenge, but
I kind of want to, can we start with revenge?
You want to start with revenge? Okay. My first prediction, Arizona and Caleb Love will win more NCAA tournament games this season than North Carolina will.
Ooh. See, okay, now I see what you're talking about here.
Mm-hmm.
More NCAA tournament games. Okay, here's what I'll say. I will actually give this a likelihood of us. I'll give it a damn. I'll give it a 4.
Oh, so you think it could happen?
Yeah, because I see a world where North Carolina has a good season, is a higher seed than Arizona. I think like if you catch Arizona as a, I don't know, like I don't want to embarrass myself with trying to guess seedings, but like you catch Arizona as a 6 seed or like a 5 seed, I think you're at a disadvantage because they're a higher seed level team. It'd just be a bad draw.
Don't you love Carolina though? Weren't your predictions that Carolina would like win things?
Yeah, I said win the ACC. I didn't say anything about the tournament.
So what seed is North Carolina if they win the ACC? And now I'm getting dinged that they might be like an 8 seed?
No, I'm thinking. No, I'm saying that. I'm saying that North Carolina will be a high seed.
So then wouldn't that mean I get more points because Arizona would be less likely to win more games?
Yeah, I just realized that my reasoning does not work in this situation.
I mean, I'll take the 4 points, but
I just realized that. Okay, you know what? I'll give you a 5 because of that.
Okay, I'll take a 5. I feel like I'm going to get a lot of 5s.
That's on me.
I think I'm going to get a lot of 5s in this exercise. Not a math podcast. Moving on. It gets spicier here for revenge. Michigan wins either the same or more NCAA tournament games than the Kansas Jayhawks this season.
Oh my God, Greg, 10. That'd be crazy.
I'll take the 10.
That'd be crazy.
It would be crazy. I'll take the 10. Here's the real prediction is this. I think Kansas does not make a Sweet 16. I think Kansas gets upset. And rather than frame it like that, I framed it as let's add the element of because I don't think it's out of the question. Michigan wins a game in the tournament. And I think Kansas, the max they will win is 1 in the tournament this year.
Yeah, Kansas won 1 game last year, right?
Kansas did not make a Sweet 16 last year, and they were loaded, and they're loaded this year, and Hunter's their best player.
Interesting.
Not that crazy, I'm telling you. Michigan's just got to deliver for me. All right, number 3. You get what I'm going for with revenge here, though, right? How about this one?
I like it. I love this category.
Creighton and some of their new faces win more NCAA tournament games than Gonzaga and Ryan Nembhard.
I gotta give that a 3.
Okay, that's fair. I probably should have added Gonzaga combined with Kansas State and Arthur Kaluma. That would have been spicy.
We almost would have been on the same one right there, because one of my ones that I crossed out was that Ashworth has a better statistical season than Ryan Nebhard.
Ooh, yeah, I like that. Yeah, I'm starting to believe Creighton really upgraded with that whole departure. We'll see. Number 4, Providence and Kim English sweep Ed Cooley and Georgetown. They do not lose to Georgetown. They're on the regular season schedule twice. They might play a third time in the Big East tournament.
See, I like Providence pieces actually. So you're saying that Providence sweeps Georgetown?
Providence will not lose to Georgetown this season.
I might be harsh, but I got to give that a 2. Like, I think that happens.
Okay. They're the favorite on Ken Palm, so it's not that crazy of a prediction. But, I mean, Ed Cooley left for the better program, Georgetown. That's all I'm saying. All right, Miami. Prediction number 5. Miami enters the final game of the regular season needing a win over Florida State to earn an ACC title or a share of the ACC title. And Matthew Cleveland loses to his former team on the final day of the regular season to blow a title.
Ooh. Because that's so specific, I'll have to give you a 10.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I feel really good about
you earned that 10. Do you and I know you asked me this, you believe all these, right?
I wholeheartedly believe all of these, except the Michigan-Kansas one. That was a stretch, but it fit the revenge theme. I had to go for it. Okay, so I want to just tally. Nowadays a math podcast. I'm at 30 through 5. I feel okay with that. I'm a little bit behind you in terms of points, but that's okay. All right, teams that I believe in is the next category. Purdue finishes the season and the conference tournament season and earns the number 1 overall seed in the NCAA tournament.
Number 1 overall seed, huh?
They get the number 1 overall seed. I don't know if they're I would assume that means they're AP poll number 1 too, but when tournament day comes, they are the first name called.
It's not easy to get the number 1 overall. Did you say win the Big Ten too, or did you just say overall?
When the tournament names are called, the committee has placed Purdue as the best team in the country.
I think that's tougher than you think. I will actually give that I'll give that a 7.
I'll take that. Okay. Yeah, I think Purdue will have the most dominant regular season. That's where I'm at with this team. Next, everybody made a big stink about St. Mary's getting more votes than Gonzaga in the coaches poll preseason. I think that St. Mary's wins the West Coast Conference by 2 or more games this year.
2 or more games?
Not just wins the conference. I think they win it by 2 or more games. I think this is the year we see Gonzaga maybe lose a couple of games that they just absolutely never would the last 6-7 years. I think St. Mary's leaps forward and doesn't lose to a cupcake and possibly sweeps Gonzaga.
I'm going to say 9.
I'll take that. I'm buying St. Mary's stock the more I look into it. All right. Might get wilder from here. The Northwestern Wildcats and my boy Boo Darius are going back to the NCAA tournament.
I don't think that's as far-fetched. I mean, if there's a Boo Darius, there's a way.
Show me someone that's picked them. Show me one person on earth that has picked this team to make the NCAA tournament.
No one. And for that reason, I'm only giving you no, I got to factor in. I can't put my personal. My personal was only going to give you like a 6 or a 7, but because of the actual narrative and putting my biases aside, I'll give you an 8.
Okay, I'll take it. Yeah, I think the Big Ten is still as mediocre as it was, in my opinion, and Boo is that good. Boo can get this team with some help from Barry and Barnheiser. He can get them in the conversation. Next up, New Mexico will win an NCAA tournament game. That's how close we were on our shot. You pick them to win the league. I'm picking them to win one tournament game.
I'm only giving that a 4.
Okay.
Yes. I think one of my predictions was going to be that New Mexico makes a Sweet 16.
They got to get there first, but yeah, if they get there, I mean, you and I are buying stock. We're buying stock for sure. All right, I think this might be the craziest one on paper. Micah Shrewsbury's Notre Dame Fighting Irish make the NCAA tournament this season.
Oh, I love Shrews, but 10.
I'll take it.
10.
I'll scoop it up.
That roster's so bad.
They beat Xavier handily in a scrimmage.
Xavier's bad.
I know, but I think you know who else is bad? The entire ACC. Like
Wow.
you're telling me there's not a world where Shrew can just coach his ass off into a Northwestern style season from last year.
If there's a Shrews, there's a way.
I
There's a
think
Boo, there's a way. There's a Shrews, there's a way.
You know what's even better than when there's a Shrew, there's a way? When there's two Shrews. Because his son's the best player on this team, and his son's name is Braden, and he's a freshman. I can't get enough of that. It's incredible. Okay, I got one more team-specific one. Deep breaths, everybody. I know you saw Illinois on the thumbnail, and you were waiting. Is Illinois going to get discussed in this segment? Well, yes, they are. Because this is the year that Illinois makes the second weekend. Illinois makes a Sweet 16.
Ooh. I'm only giving that a 5, Gregory.
Oh, come on. That's crazy.
I like this Illinois team.
Yeah, but that's crazy. Nobody's picking.
I mean, you heard my predictions, man. I got Terrence Shannon Jr. as an All-American.
Okay. No, I just don't think anybody's picking that. But okay. I'll deal with it. I'll take my 5 points.
Sorry.
Yeah, I think this is going to be like I don't think they're going to be a dominant regular season team. I think this is like a 10 seed. But then they just finally get the draw. They get the draw that we've been waiting for. And I think that's really been the whole story of this to me. It's not Brad screwing up. It's that they've played nasty teams in the tournament. I think they just get lucky this year. One of these years it'll happen. All right. Next category is things I don't believe in. Indiana misses the NCAA tournament. I've said it 100 times. I have to do it in this prediction segment. It's my biggest prediction of the year.
And as much as I don't necessarily side with you full-heartedly. I think this deserves a good amount of points if they actually miss a tournament, because it is a bold thing for you to say. So I will give you, because I was harsh on the 5 with Illinois, I'll round this up to a 9, actually.
Oh, I'll take that for sure. That's a good trade. All right. Yeah, I have to 10 toes down on this one. I said it very early. I'm risking a reputation play on Indiana missing the tournament here. All right, let's get weird. North Carolina will not make the NCAA tournament.
10.
I'm telling you, this text from Riley that Paxton Wojcik as a starter has ruined it for me. It's absolutely ruined it. Like, I'm serious. Like, we're all really supposed to believe that this team that has been mediocre for 2 whole seasons, built around Baycott and Davis, is going to run out Caleb Love, replace him with a true freshman reclass point guard, and like 3 wings that no one else wanted, and Harrison Ingram, and they're better. Is that like, you really want me to buy there's that big of a jump?
A fake reclass by Ellie Cadeau.
Fake reclass.
Yeah.
Paxton Wojcik is starting on this team card. I feel like I gotta whisper it.
My brother, we saw Tum Nairn start over one of the greatest point guards in Michigan State history.
Armando Baycott's not whoever Tum was playing with. I mean, come on. Okay, I'll take a 10 on that. I think it could happen. I also want to add the asterisk. I also think they will play in the NIT this year. I think if they get put in the exact same spot, this team will play in the NIT, and it will be hilarious.
I will give you an extra bonus 5 points if they play in the NIT too.
Okay, I'll take that. UCLA does not make the NCAA tournament this year.
Ooh, 10.
I'll take a 10.
10.
I will take a 10. Listen, I know I'm just like throwing darts right now. UCLA is really young, is my thing. And I know all the people they're bringing in are super talented. I would like this team a lot on paper if they had Tiger Campbell back. Or if they had, I think they need somebody who's just a no-brainer good player that's been around for 4 years. Like,
yeah,
there's a little bit of blow-up disaster potential of like Mick Cronin and his hard-ass coaching style and all these European 18-year-olds who are like, I'm an NBA pick in 3 months. Like there is disaster potential.
Yeah. Like I'm loving this team a lot more even if Amari Bailey comes back.
Yeah, 100%. And like I know Bona's back. I think that's a big add, but there's just a lot of pressure on a lot of 18-year-old kids. Like I've seen that not work before, you know? I also think the Pac-12 is stronger, man. Like Colorado's good, USC is good. Like there are teams in this conference.
Good.
There are teams in this conference this year that I think can beat UCLA twice in a way it wouldn't have happened last year. So, all right, last one, another one we almost got together. I have Xavier finishing in the bottom 3 in the Big East. There's some bad teams in the Big East before you give me a grade on it. Like
Butler,
so like
you have
all.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to go through this. Like DePaul's at the bottom. Who else am I missing here? Like, actually, can I get 2 seconds to pull up the Big? I want to make sure I'm not missing anybody here because I feel like this
Butler, DePaul, Georgetown, St. John's, Seton Hall, Providence, Xavier, Villanova, Creighton, Marquette, UConn.
Ooh. See, I think they'll be bad, but I'll give that an 8.
I'll take the 8.
Yeah, bottom 3. That'd be catastrophic.
Okay. I'll absolutely take the 8 there. Okay. I have 5 remaining. Players I believe in is the next category. Riley Kugel will be the SEC Player of the Year.
I'm going to give that a 7.
Okay. I'll take that.
Actually, 8. No, give that an 8.
I love high points on these. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the hard part of this one is Florida needs to be respectable in order for this to happen.
That's kind of where I bumped it up to an 8.
But I think if Riley Kugel has a Kobe Bufkin season, I don't think there's a better player than that production in this conference.
Can I ask you a quick question that almost made my list?
Mm-hmm.
How many points would you have given me if I wrote Antonio Reeves wins SEC Player of the Year?
8. Same you just gave
8.
me for Riley.
Okay.
So I another one we could have maybe taken a shot on. I'll go right to it. Antonio Reeves scores 20 points a game this season.
20. Ooh, that's a lot.
20 is a lot of points.
20 is a lot, and they got some talented, like DJ Wagner's going to take some shots. Because of that, I will give you a 7.
Okay. I'll take the 7. Yeah, I think one of those things where Reeves, my Kugel pick and my Reeves pick probably conflict with each other because if Reeves scores 20, it's going to be tough for Kugel to be Player of the Year. But
are we doing roundups? Are we doing roundups in this?
No, he has to be 20.0 or higher.
No roundups? That's what our pod was founded on.
If he's 19.9, he didn't hit 20.
Ooh.
He didn't hit 20. I'm a man of integrity, Cart. Final player I believe in. Everyone should know who this is at this point. Judah Mintz is the ACC Player of the Year. Before you give me a grade, I'm going to say there's some big names in the ACC.
Yeah. I was going to give you a 10, but because of my love for Judah Mintz, I'm bumping it down to 9. He could actually put up those stats.
I love Judah. Absolutely love him. All right. I have 2 predictions left, and I totally stopped tallying my points, so I'm going to have to do some math at the end of this. These are both Final Four base predictions. I mean, this one's got to be worth 10 because I'm just throwing darts right now. The Final Four this season will consist of Purdue, Creighton, Texas, and a team that no one sees coming.
Can I get a little bit more? If you give me a little bit more clarity on the team that no one sees coming, I'd be willing to get bonus points for this.
Like, I just want the 10. I don't want the bonus points. But like Duke, Kansas, North Carolina, Gonzaga would all disqualify here. Like okay. Houston, I mean, anybody who's like a team.
Last thing I want to throw at you here. If you give me like a seed line or higher, I'll give you some bonus points if you want them. Like if you say it's going to be a seed.
I don't want them. I don't want the bonus points.
Well,
I want to keep it vague.
It's a 10.
It's like last year, Miami would have been a team nobody sees coming.
10.
Okay. I'll take that.
10.
Yeah, that's
and I think we can agree on what would be a team no one sees coming.
100%. And I will honor your verdict when the season gets here, if I get to that point. But yeah, I think because it could literally be like I think St. Mary's would qualify as a team nobody sees coming to the Final Four.
Yeah.
I think it could be like a total 11 seed Mountain West team that nobody sees coming. I think it could be a mid-major. I think it's going to be one chaos team and then Purdue, Creighton, Texas. That's my prediction.
Yeah, but you're gonna see some elite flipping out of me though if that 10 for that one is the make or break point. And I argue that Washington State was really tough towards the end of the season. I saw them making it to the Final Four. Like I will go those lengths, but
Understood.
I'll try.
Understood. All right, and my final prediction. Again, I think I should get 10 points because this is like 3 predictions in one. But my national championship, number 1 overall seed Purdue will be playing Big East champion Creighton. Purdue versus Creighton for the title. And the national champion of this season will be the Creighton Blue Jays.
10.
Creighton over Purdue, baby. 10 points. Call my shot.
That'd be a great championship game.
Yeah, I went into this with every intention to say Purdue is going to be my national champ and have that be the final pick. And then I thought about a Purdue and a Creighton game. Calc is basically like 80% of Edie minimum, maybe 90% of Edie. Calc's really good. Trey Alexander and Steven Ashworth and Baylor Shireman are the next 3 best players in this game. The way I think about Purdue has got me really thinking about Creighton when I think about if those 2 teams played each other, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Go Blue Jays. Our Blue Jays.
Our Blue Jays.
So can I get a bonus pick from you while I add up numbers? Can I get a bonus pick? Who's your champ? You
Michigan State.
Spartans. Yeah, you just picking the Spartans. Okay. Who's your non-Michigan State champ?
I mean, it would have been Creighton, but
outside
of that, Texas.
Okay. All right. Points have been tallied. You have 137 potential points. I have 149 potential points. That also means
closer than I thought.
That also means mine are more unlikely to hit. So, fun game, fun episode today, fun exercise. Hopefully people enjoyed this. Let us know. Hit us up in the comments, in the Discord, on Twitter, wherever you're at. Let us know who you think had better predictions. Let us know who you think will win more predictions. Let us know who you think will win the points game we just came up with. It's Carter versus me. It should be fun.